I've been asking Mechila from all English-speaking people that I'm going to speak in English. And my English is very hard to understand as someone who speaks English only. It's a very high vocabulary. You don't know the English. There's a lot of Yiddish words in it, a lot of Kodesh involved, so hopefully you'll understand them, Yetz Hashem. So they say there was a story of a person, his name was Manya. He lived in a city in Russia, Lithuania, Minsk. Manya from Minsk. Manya was a schlepper, didn't have piastra, prita for his neshama, poor, shlem mazel. Whenever he started a job, in Yiddish, they say, wie gelijk de hand, und von Himmel gelijk de Fies. It was mamish schrecklich. He decided, that's it. Enough was enough. He is going to America. He's moving to America. In America, it's the place of all places. It's the land of opportunities. That's it. America it is. That's it. Kauft a ticket on the boat. Fuhrt to America. He doesn't even know what he's going to do there. First of all, I'm not Manya the Shtackle. It's over. I'm Manya the Gevir of the United States. He gets to Manhattan. It was on a Friday morning. Checks in hotel. I don't know how he had the money to check in, but Lamas checked in the hotel. And he started to think to himself, like laying in his bed, so I'm in America. What am I doing now? First of all, you know what? First of all, I'm a Kohen. Let's start with this. I'm not a Yisrael anymore. I was a Yisrael, and that's it. First of all, I'm a Kohen. Let's change the muzzle around. Friday night, he davened in the hotel. He didn't have any courage to go, but Shabbos in the morning, he's there on the east side, somewhere in Manhattan. He sees a big shul congregation. Oh, hey, Tzedek. That's it. The editor of the shul. The guy back on top of them. Shalom Aleichem. Who are you? My name is Menachem Monish Berkhaim Yitzchok HaKoyen. Oh, so you're getting the Aliyah to Koyen today? Exactly. I'm a Koyen. And it's a Mechaya, and they call him, yeah, Moed Menachem Monish Berkhaim Yitzchok HaKoyen. And he goes over, Baruch Shem HaVortel. He felt so good. He didn't even have a penny. He felt already. That's it. I'm a millionaire. The davening is finished. Everybody goes over to the Rav to say good Shabbos. He comes over to the Rav. He just comes to the Rav. The Rav says, Manya! Manya! Gedenkst du? Woo, Manya! In the schmoozy for 2 minutes at the end, he tells him, Manya, there's one problem there. I remember your bidding Abed. I was there. I think I even have a little piece of sugars from your thinking of it. When did you become a Kohen? How did you become a Kohen? So he tells the rabbi, you see, Rabbi, this is America. This is America. You change location. The same person that was Yisrael in Minsk, in America is a Kohen. Can you imagine the biggest ganav in Minsk, the biggest balaver in Minsk, the biggest bandit in Minsk? He just came to America, he became the rabbi of Ohev Tzedek. That's what happens when you change locations, something happens. So why am I starting off with this story? Sometimes when a person changes locations, he could sell the Brooklyn Bridge to everyone. So I don't know what you know about me. I'm not the Tzaddik Ador. Baruch Hashem, I have a gewaldige zechia. I did chinuch a lot of years, and Baruch Hashem from there it turned out to say shiurim for Klal Yisrael. And Baruch Hashem, today, it's a world that there's so much opportunity. It could be mezakas harab mit kleinigkeiten. You just need a good recorder and say shiurim, and you can inspire thousands of people. It's Baruch Hashem that we're zoicha to do this. And that's what we're here tonight, hopefully, to speak a bit. The topic was something with the Waze. I don't remember what the word was. Something Waze, GPS, Chinuch, what? Ways of Chinuch. So Chinuch is a topic that, Chinuch is, they say there was once 3 Yiddish mamas sitting in a park, sitting down on the bench. They're sitting, and one mother says, "Oy vey is mir." Another one says, "Oh yeah, broch." And the third says, "Yeah." I said, okay, enough discussed our children. Okay, let's start a new topic. Let's begin a new topic. Chinuch is a topic that always people want to hear about it. Whenever you see a drush about chinuch, oh, chinuch, let's hear chinuch. And maybe what I'm going to say now is a little bit hurtful, but people confuse the word chinuch with something else. People sometimes don't even chap when they say, let's hear something on parenting. What do you really mean when you say parenting? So let's start the story from the beginning. Bereshis, we were all teenagers one day, and we weren't even married, and everything went fine and well. And Baruch Hashem, one day, we found our shidduch, and we got married. It was hard in the beginning till we adjusted to one each other, and that's it. And we started a new life. We have a house, everything is comfortable. Here is my bed, here's my kitchen, here's my dining room, and that's it. And I buy stuff, and I have it, and when I leave it, it's left there, and suddenly, all of a sudden, new immigrants start to immigrate our house. It's called squatters. Happens to me, it's our children. And they're starting to disturb our life. It's not the same comfortable life that we're used to. You put a thing over here, a few minutes later, who broke it? Who did it? What's going on here? The kids are, Baruch Hashem, these are the same children that we're begging Hashem, we want them and we cherish them. But at the end of the day, they're disturbing our comfort. They take away our yishadas. And we are looking for menucha. We want menuchas hanefesh. Men more than women. Women somehow think that the house is a workplace. Men don't see a house as a workplace. It's a place. It's a hotel. It's a place to come and shh. I'm going to do everything to get back this shh. But it doesn't work. Why? Because this boy aggravates me, and she's not mamish. She's folknish, and here we got a phone call from the manal that this boy is doing trouble. Die, I want menichas nefesh. You know what? So parenting. Let's hear chinuch. So you're not looking for chinuch. You look to be comfortable. And we confuse it. We call it chinuch yeludim. It's not chinuch yeludim. There's some sofer that was crying and filling up a whole glass of tears for chinuch yeludim. He didn't look for comfort. He didn't look to be comfortable. He just wanted a comfortable life. Why not? Why not having good children? So nice. Yeah? Have a nice house. Have a nice car. Have good children. It's like a part of the package. They always say, okay, I can't say, they say in Yiddish, was met Amerikaner Yid, a Wilhelmsburger Yid, scheine Kara, scheine Hose, en het seizoen wat de pfarrer abal gesirum. That's what I said. Alles zusammen sidder. Everything should be good. And why not having good children? So first of all, whenever we speak chinuch, let's just remind ourselves, what are we looking for? What are we looking for? What are you trying to gain when we're going to hear a drush and chinuch? We'll like tips. Give us a chinuch tip, a tip. So let's do it fast. Give me a tip that you work from today to tomorrow and everything is suda. No. When we say the word chinuch, we really look for one thing. We want that we should have a dor, we should have a generation that should continue derech haTorah, that continue what I saw by my parents and what my parents saw by their parents, from Mama, since Mama the Sinai, and I want to have the schia to be mamshech this derech. I want to be zoicher that my children should go on the same derech hamesira loni medoidor. That's what we are looking for. And if this is what we're looking for, we are ready to sacrifice for it. We're ready to do something for it. Heard what's a gewaldige word. We know that one of the nissen that happened in the tent of Sarah Imenu was that the candles from Erev Shabbos were burning till the next week. Whole week the candles were burning. Ad kedei kach, it was such a gewaldige nes that when Yitzchak got married with Rivka, he was looking if this nes is going to happen again by him. And yeah, Baruch Hashem. And the pasuk says, "Vayinochem Yitzchak achrayim." And finally, Yitzchak had getroffen treist. It happened the same. Yes. What's the big deal that the candle is burning for 7 days? Today it's not a big deal. There's a company in their mitzvah. You can have candles burning for 14 days as well, for a full year, for till the second Yortzeit. What's this message behind candles burning me erev Shabbos to erev Shabbos? I want to the gewaldige Ryan. You should know, we have a whole week struggles with our children. Struggles, ups and downs, and okay, go there, don't do this, don't that. Oh yeah, he's aggravating me. Why can't you do this? Why can't you do this? Why can't you do everything yet? There's that 2-3 minutes in the week when the Yiddish Name stands with the Lecht, and then we want only one thing. We don't need to the children 1,000 things. We're standing with these Lecht. We love them. And we just beg Rebbeinu Shalom. We want Anshe Emes. They should be Yirei Hashem or Yahavei Hashem. Okay? This is only 2 minutes a week. And what's the rest? 24/7 minus 2 minutes. Oh, gewaltige Schrecken, ups and downs, roller coasters. If we could stay focused a whole week, we should really want the same thing that we want those 2 minutes. This is the 10th of Sarah Emeinu. By Sarah Emeinu in her house, 24 hours, 7 days a week, those moments of the Shabbos candles lit a whole week. It never stopped. The focus, what we are looking, never stopped. In a week from now, we're going to be holding Rosh Chodesh Shivan. Erev Rosh Chodesh Shivan, there's a whole Inyan to say the Tfilas Ashlo. I don't know, such a year when we say it, to Shabbos, whatever. I think we say it Shabbos. Tfilas Ashlo, a whole tefillah that we ask, we should have good kids, we should have nachas for them, there should be balei koimo, but we're asking for a lot of stuff. But let's remember one gewaldige thing. I once heard, I think that Chassam Sofer said it, I never saw it in this form of Chassam Sofer, but they say it b'shem Chassam Sofer. When you open a machzer of Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, you're going to see that by Keser, by the Chinuch of Keser, you can ask for one of 3 things. It is a whole Yerotzen to say, it's a gewaldige zgula to ask by Keser, either for Bonim Talmidei Chachamim, or you can ask for Parnasa Barchova, or for Ruach HaKodesh. It's 3 things. I have a friend, he tells me, Evesh Kamaisis, he asked for all 3 of them. And he asked no, so garbet. So he told me, Tfilah oisa mechze. What do you mean? I have the bunam, not Talmidei Chachamim. I have the par without the nusa, and I got the riach without the kodesh. But Rabbi say, let's think a minute. There's a tefillah that it's still is an old tefillah. Guy writes how many years ago this was nistak in this tefillah. And they gave us a choice to ask one of 3 things. You can't ask all 3 of them. One of them, pick yourself a choice. Either Ruach HaKodesh, either Parnasa, either good children. Rabbi said, let's be Lamazan awful. Do you know one person that has a shala, what to ask them? He's standing over there, okay, I have 3 choices. Ruach HaKodesh, Parnasa, or good children. Do you think there was one person since Bria Yisrael until the day said, yeah, part of the Parnasa, part of the Ruach HaKodesh? Again, who needs Ruach HaKodesh? Are we so crazy for Ruach HaKodesh? Look, we're so anxious only of thinking what is going to happen tomorrow. Can you imagine you have Ruach HaKodesh and you know what's going to happen tomorrow? Anxiety is going to be till Chvaisishvi. Besser under Ruach HaKodesh. Who needs Ruach HaKodesh? And to say, okay, maybe Ruach HaKodesh, I'm not asking, but the shayla is Parnusa or Gitte Kinder. Okay, listen, you must be a very Odom Megushen Mo'oid to say, I get the nach for the Gitte Kinder, I don't need it, just give me the Parnusa. I mean, what's the shayla do? You're given 3 choices. Why 3 choices? Why shouldn't it be that by Keser you can ask for Gitte Kinder? That's it. Why do you have to put the 2 choices? Who needs it? So Rabbi said, they say it b'shem Chassam Sofer. I didn't see it inside, but the word is gewaldig. The word is, Hashem knows that what a person will ask for Gitte Kinder. But the Chazal came and they showed us you should know one thing. In order to have those good children, remember, you always will have to give up for other things to have those children. It won't go together with everything. It doesn't work. I have everything in my life plus good children. It may happen, maybe happen. The Rebbeinu Shalom can aufschauen the mazel for a mensch. But you have to be ready to sacrifice. The Rebbeinu Shalom asks, are you ready to give up sometimes your panusa?
Are you ready to give up something of comfort in your life for these children? Or you want that you just come together with a package? And let's face it, Wiffel mentioned sometimes are ready to give up children for another dollar. You could spend the next hour, a precious hour, quality time with your child, or you could go run after another dollar. I'm not sure you're going to have the dollar. But I don't know, let's move the kind of the zat, and let's make another dollar. Brother Eisner used to say sometimes, du Menschen, du da Amavdel suchen sie so, Amavdel im Kodesh lechoil, hat es seine hi, Yim choil zaraini, v'kaspaini arbe kechoil. Moichel of the kind, they get better again. So boys, we have to know this. We have to be maskim, to give up. When a first child is born in a Yiddish family, there's a pidyon aben. What's the pidyon aben occasion all about? A kohen stands in front of the Abi Aben and he asks him a gewaldige shaila. Ma boys say, what do you want more? Do you want the 5 sloim or do you want the child? And the Avi Ben looks and he says, Chofetz ani b'bni b'chori, I would like the child. Take the 5 sloim and give me the child. What is happening here? So the Balamusa used to say that the Pidyon Aben is a yisoid for life for every Jewish father and mother. You should know that this question that the Kohen asked by the Pidyon Aben is not only once a question by the B'chor. This question you're going to be asked again and again during all your parent life. You know how many times this question comes? Ma boys say, what do you prefer? Prefer the child or you prefer the dollar? Are you ready to give up a little tanasa? Are you ready to give up some comfort in your house? You know that if this thing is going to come into my house, it's going to have a bad effect on my child. Sometimes it can be an electronic device, sometimes it can whatever. I'm not going in anything, I'm not a rov. Everybody knows exactly. Everybody knows himself better than any bit. Alle Drusches helft nicht. Wie der Mensch allein weiß. This thing shouldn't be in my house. But I want it. It's so comfortable to have it. Yeah, but it can affect the chinuch of the children. So here you go. Here you have your my boy's zwei question. What are you taking? Are you preferring this or preferring that? And we have always this question. This question comes up a whole time. And that's what we have to ask ourselves. There's one of the famous stories that I made it famous a few years ago in Karaftuni. It was a real musical, emotional story. People went crazy for the story, but maybe didn't chap so much the message. The story was about an older woman. It's a true story. An older woman that had some shigas to look into bags. Whenever she saw a bag, she looked into it. I already said the same story again, not on a woman or on a Zayda, because I had to say it in the Chassidish Kreis. They told me, please, don't say it on the Baba, say it on the Zayda. So I did it for Zayda. But the story happened with a woman. She was looking into bags. Mama shigas. And the children were very embarrassed. Mommy has a psah. She going to look into bags. Wherever she saw a bag in a store, she used to go to people, excuse me, can I look into the bag? It was Mama's psah crazy habit. One day, the mother was already in the older years, and one of her children calls her up, Mommy, was het zich? Oi, frag nicht, don't ask. They kicked me out of a wedding today. So what happened? It was before the chuppah. I went over to say Mazel Tov to the Kala, and the mechetenis, she had her bag. So I went and looked into her bag. Frag nicht, a whole scandal geworfen, and the mother sitting and crying at home. She was embarrassed. They kicked her out by a wedding. So her son, he felt so bad for her mother, so he came over to her mother, to the house, to ask her to see how she feels and everything. And her son tells her, Mommy, I would never ask you this question, but if you brought it up, I think it's time for me to ask. You know that years and years, me and all the brothers, we're very embarrassed. We know that you have this funny habit of looking into bags. What is this? What is this looking into bags? And the mother started crying. I said, you should know, I never told you. But you had a brother before the war. I had a baby before the war. And when they took us to Auschwitz, and the Nazis, Yimach Shemo, opened the doors, and they were screaming, Raus, raus! So me and Tati, we took all the stuff, and the Nazi was laughing. Wie meinst du gehen Sie? Where do you think you're going? I'm going to trip? You can take only a few things, you can't take everything. So what we did is we took 2 bags. In one bag we put in a few shmatas, whatever clothing, and the other bag we put in the newborn baby. And we ran to the trains. And when we came to the train, the Nazi standing over there by the train says, no, you don't take 2 bags, only 1 bag. 1 bag you leave here, and 1 bag you take. So versteht sich, I left the bag with all the shmatas, and with the baby I entered the train. It was such noises with dogs, with everything what happened there. The train closed, I look into the bag, ouch. I left the baby out and I took the shmatas. And I started screaming, the baby was baby. When baby, the train left. And never again I saw that baby. Until today, I still have this mishigas in my head. Maybe one day I'm going to open a bag and I'm going to find a baby there. Versteht sich. Ain't going to happen till Tchias HaMaisim. But that's it. That's my mishigas. It's a very painful story. Very painful story. We can't imagine what this means. We don't Holocaust is all about. How many stories we hear, we don't really chap it. But that pain of giving up a baby and taking a bag of shmatas is crazy. But Rabbi say, if you think that the pain is only that mother, I have a big mistake. These stories are happening every day. How many times we have parents and giving up, they're going to throw away the baby and take some shmatas. And they don't chap it. One day, when they're going to be on the train, they're going to chap, what did I do? How did I give up a baby and I took shmatas? How did I give up minutes that I could have give for my children? I could have learned with them. I could have studied with them something. I could have just listened to them. Be with them. Listen what they have to say. Instead, what we do, okay, Shefel, enough, enough. Okay. Go to play. Listen, you know why we bought you this whole thing? Because of that. I don't want to hear anything. None of the cheder. I had my chance. I was already a child. I know all the stories, the Rebbe, the Malama, the Chulam, the Sulam of Yaakov Avini. Enough. I woke up from the Chulam already. Or we could take minutes and sit with the children and take everything away. Today it's such a world of distraction. And then the sign is so much bigger. So the schar is so much bigger. There's so many ways to be distracted in a second. And we can leave this all aside, and I want to listen to my child. I want to hear how his day was. I want to validate everything that he says. I want to be together with him. I don't know if there's people that are following my shiurim. My mamash, the recent shiur I gave 2 weeks ago, said over there a story. There was a Yid in Yerushalayim HaKodesh. He was a Vesikin Yid. Every morning, stood up the Sikil, went to daven the Sikil. He came home after the nets, had a little breakfast, went to sleep, and 9 o'clock he woke up and went to the work. He had this minig every day that 9 o'clock, a few minutes before 9 o'clock, when the school bus comes to pick up the children, he had his daily hug that he gave for all his children with a kiss. Morgen tzadikel, so matzliach zan, so tut magit tug in chayder. One day he woke up late, and he saw that he will not have the time because he had still a meeting. He still had to do a few things, so he just went into his car and went to the job. He can't be late. So there's a meeting, and the boss said everybody has to come early tomorrow. And pink the other tug, he woke up late. On his way going to the job, he gets a phone call. You see, home. You know, it's not so exciting, the phone call. It says home. The klal starts right away. No. Mincha Kedisha. Someone told me, Malach, you killed my Shalom Bayis. Why? Because I was driving my car, and my wife calls in, and she says, yeah, Moshe was titzich. So I started saying, service. Nonetheless, you can't hear, there's no service. My wife tells me, yeah, but Malach Shir in the background doesn't cut up. How does it work? It doesn't break up. So, he gets this phone call, and here it's his little boy on the phone. Tati, I'm soon going to the bus. Where are you? I'm waiting for this hug. I'm waiting for the good morning. Yes, Shefel, I'm so sorry. Today I cannot do it because I have the job and the meeting. I must be in the job. Okay, bye. That's it, today won't be any hug. But mamish a minute before the bus came, suddenly the boy sees Tati's car is back. And Tati went out, told him, listen, I couldn't stand this pain. The way you finished the phone call, here you have your hug. Sheifele, good morning. And she had a lot of atzluch in Chayder. Years went by. It was by the last Sheder Bruchis of this boy. The chassan stood up and he said his little drushah and he thanked his parents for all the years of the Chinuch. And he says, and if you want to ask me, what is the moment that I remember from all the years? And then he said this story. He said the story of that morning when Tati came back with his car and he gave me this hug and he told me good morning. The father stood up after this drasha and he started talking his drasha and he said, I'm thinking now as the chassan speaks and he's saying the story. I forgot the story already. You reminded me, I remember that day. And here I'm thinking to myself, it's about 12 or 13 years passed since then. This chassan remembers what I did for him. How many chances is that the boss still remembers that I came late that day to the work? 0. He doesn't remember. So look, then, 13 years ago, by that morning, what looked by me so chashuv now? What was my first, I must be a time. You look, it's 13, 14 years later. Is it still so chashuv? Nothing happened. And the thing that I almost kicked it aside, big deal. So I won't give this hug for this boy. Won't tell him good morning. 14 years later, look how he remembers it. Sometimes we don't do the right decision because we look for now. Look at the future. Look what is really important. What is really important? I know for now it's really important. Parnusa Barchuva. Are you ready to give it up? Are you ready to give up something to be mashkia a bit more in your children and to be zoiche to it? Sometimes there's a feeling by parents, listen, I pay enough schalimid that the moiset should do what they have to do. Okay? Enough! I remember I once met an older Chassidish Yid who was already 86 years old, and he sat by a Kiddush, and I know that he's diabetic, and at Arange knacked out by the Kiddush, everything cake and herring. Then he took the kokish cake and toiveled it into the liver combo, and he ate it. And I told him, Reb Shia, he's in kleine Horde 86, he hackt daran, also, the doctor lost? Sagt mir, ich nehme jeden Tag 23 Pillen. I take every day 23 pills for diabetes, for the kidneys, for the this. Sollen sie arbeiten. Let them work. Stam schlinge gaan pillen, und sie arbeit. Sometimes there's the feeling at home, I think that I pay enough schar limit that the whole ruchnius for my children is taken care of. There's Moisdes, there's Rabbein, there's Menalim, sollen sie arbeiten. Leave me alone! There's a story, I'm saying it for years, the story, but still the best muscle to bring it out. There was once one of the villages in Poland, years ago, a few hundred years ago, in the days of the Peritzim. There was one of the parrots with his 2 servants walking around. It was a cold night, and the parrot is looking around his village, he's in a good mood. He has a warm drink with a straw, drinking a hot coffee. It was he said, we have to make something Lebedik in this village. We have to live up the village. I think let's do such a thing. I have, back of my palace, there's a lake, a frozen lake. It's not frozen, it's slushy. We're going to make such a thing. Tomorrow, 1 o'clock, whoever's ready to swim, to cross the lake, swimming, from einen Eck zum anderen, is going to be rewarded. Okay? Good idea. What's going to be the reward? The parrot thinks, you know what? I'm ready even to give my daughter for a color to this person. Wow! Yeah! Okay, what else? There's only one choice, a few choices. The other choice is, he gets a full kretschmer for free. I'm giving away a whole kretschmer. That's it, a whole bar. How do I say bar? A kretschmer, we could say. In English you say the kretschmer. Then, the third option is going to be 50,000 rubles. Wow! They hung signs in the whole village. Tomorrow, 1 o'clock. whoever is ready to swim across the lake in this slushy situation, 1 or 3 Vatanas, well, 1 o'clock, everybody is there, the whole village is there. People are trying to get into this lake. No, you can't, it's cold, it's not cold, it's freezing, there's no way you can do it. And the king, the poet says, listen, it's from 1 to 1:15. If by 1:15 nobody does it, it's over, game is over. It's 1:05, 1:10, everybody tries, it doesn't work. Finally, the very last second, it's 1:14:55, splash, someone is in the water. And he's swimming, whoa, everybody's looking, who is this guy? They're waiting to see him coming out the other side. There's an old person, 91 years old, coming out. And everybody's over there, the big news channels, everybody with the mics, with the brooms, with the mops. Wow, you made it! Congratulations! So you don't need the daughter from the parts. Yeah, you're 91. You probably want the Kretschmer, huh? To drink a little bit. No, Kretschmer, no daughter, no nothing. The rubles, huh? No rubles. I want only one thing. I want to know who pushed me in. Who was that mechitza who pushed me in? Rabbi say, you had a poritz that promised all the haftochas in the world. The daughter, 50,000 rubles, a kretschmer. If it's cold, if it's frozen, nobody will jump into the lake unless someone will push you in. What are Rabbein doing a whole day in Cheder? There must be for the children how good it's to be a Yid. All the haftochas that a Yid has. What Rabbi say, let's face it, the generation today, we are in a cold generation. We're not in slush and rain, we slush almost ice all the way. The only way children should want to jump into this lake is only if there is parents in the house that are pushing them in to do it. Without the parents, it won't work. It will never work. A child that doesn't get this push at home, go to Cheder, be a Yid, and he doesn't feel in the house the environment, the Yiddishkeit environment in the house, the Cheder can't tell him anything. And how do we bring it into our children, Rabbi say? How do we bring it in? We should know we're in such a golus today. I once heard a word. There's a posuk in Tehillim, Shomreini ki ishoin bas oyen. David HaMelech asked from Hashem, Rebbeinu Shalom, Shomreini, heat of me, save me. Ki ishoin bas oyen, like the schwarz apple from the oig. Use of English, the black apple of the eye. The what? The eye. Exactly. So David HaMelech, he asks from Hashem Shmira. Shmira. So why does he have to give for Hashem an example? Look out at me like something else. Why? Hashem doesn't understand. And he's going to say Shomreini. Is that enough? But Shomreini, ki ishen bas oin, the same way that a person gets acting of the oigen, that's the way you should. Why? Why do you need this example? We all know that it's a very geschmacky thing when we were children to get a glet. Yeah, a glet was a nice thing. A glet. When you were a little child, you came to your father, to your grandfather. Oh, Shefel, a glet. A glet is something. Makes me feel so good. So I still had melamdim that I used to give glet, but on a speed. Wasn't that it? Wait, like times 3. And this is a glet that hurts. So we know a shmaki glet like this is a very good feeling. A patch is not the best feeling. And it could be in the face, it could be in the back, in every place. A good pat in the back is geschmack. A zetz is not so good. There's one place in your body where the glet and the patch hurts the same, is by Isher and Bas Oyen. Never glet someone else or yourself by the Isher and Bas Oyen. You don't want to glet there. Over there, the glet and the patch is the same hurtful. You don't touch Isher and Bas Oyen. David HaMelech tells us a gewaldige thing here. You should know that in Golus, there's going to be 2 types of Golusen. There's going to be the Golus when literally a goy hits a Jew. It's very painful. It's very painful. And we ask Hashem that this anti-Semitism that's growing and growing should stop already. We should be nigal to this thing. But there's something same painful like this patch is when the goy gives us a glet. A glet from a goy is not less painful and not less hurtful than a patch of a goy. When the goy laughs to us and he's good to us, and our children can be exposed to any nishgita zach, it's even more painful than a frask. And we ask Rebbeinu Shalom Shamreini ki Isha and Bas Oyen. We're asking Shmir of our children like Isha and Bas Oyen. We shouldn't have a shaykhis with the goyish welt, not only apart from them, mainly a glet of the goy. We have to be very, very open. It's a world of exposure, and the world laughs to our children. They smile to our children. They have everything. Everything is accessible, everything, and we have to fight this battle. And we can't fight this battle if we don't take the same. I spoke to the Melamdim Friday night. We had a Shabbos Melamdim now. So I told him I once spoke with the Skreir Rebbe Shlita. He told me we always have to see what the enemy does in order to know how you fight with him. So we know 100 years ago who was our enemy? The Maskilim, Haskalah. What was a scholar? A scholar was a scholar, knowledge. What means a scholar? Knowledge. They had books, they had literature, they had a lot of stuff. So the way to fight with us was Sifre Musar, Sifre Machshava. Let's think the opposite. Today the Yetzirah is not a scholar. Yetzirah of a scholar is dead. Today Yetzirah is pleasure. Tava, enjoy yourself, enjoyment. The only way to fight today pleasure is let's give to our children Yiddish pleasure. Let's make a Shabbos the most pleasure thing in the world. Every mitzvah should go with pleasure. Everything that we do should go with pleasure. Every Yiddish zach that we speak should come with a varmkeit, the yishmakkeit. I always say this word that, when you're going to put in a computer a song, put on the computer a file that has a song. It takes a lot of memory. A song. When you put in words, it's not a lot. Yeah, I think you could put in a file with a few millions of words. It wouldn't weigh so much memory in your computer than one song. Song is a lot of memory. So let's see by us. How many songs do we memorize by heart? That's a funny question because you can't even start to count. You know how many songs you know? You memorize so many songs. If you're Chassidish Yid, every Yom Tov has minimum 150 songs. And then you know the songs from your Kreis, from your Chassidus, all the songs, and also from the other Chassidus, and also you know the songs, how the other Chassidus sing the song from your Chassidus, and they verdry it. Also this and you're moichan it, and it's not the way it goes. And I have a bum of a cousin, when I sing Koriboy in front of him, the Christians Koriboy, he wants to kill me. No way! The kids, it's nicht pushet. How many telephone numbers you memorize? Not even yourselves. Nothing. We don't remember any telephone. How can I remember my phone number? I don't remember it. Who knows numbers today? So it's so interesting. In a computer, you can put in millions and millions of phone numbers, and the memory wouldn't even budge. One song is going to take so much memory. How an hour ahead, it's just the opposite. We can memorize songs and songs and songs, and phone numbers we can't memorize. So the Teretz is very simple. By a computer, a song and a phone number is the same thing. Phone number has a certain megabyte, how much this phone number is. And what is a song? Thousands of those megabytes. It's a lot. By us, a song is an experience. It's an emotional experience. It's not nobody taught himself a song. Oh, now I have it. No. It's da 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 da. You're going into exactly. Hey, it's taking you to a certain place. David HaMelech says, "Zmirois hoyalichi kecho bebeis migurai, zocharti lo ilom." He says, "Bebeis migurai." When I was a child, Yiddishkeit in our house wasn't all about commands all the time. Okay, sit down, stand up. Let's go. Come, let's. Everybody sit down now. I don't know what's going to go. Sit down. We could bring in Yiddishkeit in gigs and it's a blood going for them. We could put it in a song. We could put in an emotion to everything. Everything in Yiddishkeit in our house should be freilich. We should feel the atmosphere. Shavuos is coming next week. Let's start getting excited in the house about this. Not only about the cheesecake. Let's say to Baruch Hashem, Kabbalah Satoyre, Kabbalah Satoyre, Nachamul. Kishmak, Kabbalah Satoyre. We don't have to say it to the children. Shevel, I want to tell you one thing. Kabbalah Satoyre is coming. No. Say it to yourself. Kabbalah Satoyre, Shvias. We make this in the house. We don't even know what we're doing. We are creating an atmosphere in the house of Warmkeit, of Yiddishkeit, and this is what the children will remember when they feel the pleasure of Yiddishkeit, when they feel the Geschmack of it. This begleitet sie ganze Zeit. They'll never let go. And I'm not talking only about Shabbos. People say, okay, so Shabbos and Yom Tov is covered. Listen, between me and you, there's a lot of stuff in Yiddishkeit. It's a little bit hard, There's a lot of Gedorim, Shmiras Hanayim, and you can't do this, you can't do that. How do you bring in your child the Geschmack of an Isser? The Geschmack of a no. It's a challenge. A lot of people will say, listen, that's Yiddishkeit. Yiddishkeit is balanced. There's the bitter part of Yiddishkeit. You can't do this, you can't do that. But listen, the other side, it's balanced, but there's also Shabbos and Yom Tov. It's not true. We can bring in such a Geschmack in a gather. How do you do it? I'll tell you, I'll push it to Moshel. So we have a president, a nice guy, his name is Trump. He's my competition. He does much more comedy than me. But Trump, one of his very big issues is immigrants. And we have in New York, we have a big, I don't know till today if the Mexico wall was built already or not. There's two things I'll never figure out. If the war in Iran ended already, or Mamash in the wait ended in another 5 minutes, or in the wall of Mexico. I don't know if it happened or didn't happen. But there's a wall in Mexico where that officially he made a border. Mexico and New York cannot be together. That's it. It's over. And any Mexican we find, out. I call it amigo laoitzi. That's it. Mexico and America has a wall. So on both sides, let's think together something. There's a little boy, an American boy. He's growing up in the house of a proud American. He lives somewhere in the States, a real Republican. He has this big American flag on his house, on his car, in his basement, everywhere. Proud we stand, we're Americans. Every morning he's waking up, his Modan is the Constitution, and he's fully here. And one day, his child asked him, Papa, why is there a wall between Mexico and America? So, what is this American father explaining to his child? Why is there a wall? Oh, my son, so happy you asked this question, son. So I gotta tell you, we are Americans. We are proud Americans. And we don't want that these cheap Mexicans should enter America. We won't want them here. They're not welcome. We have America. We have a good economy. We're the best. We're the greatest. We're the biggest. It says all the psukim that Trump says every day. And we don't want these Mexican nothings should enter this place. So we have a wall. All the Mexicans, please, stay where you are. Don't enter. Okay, let's close the wall. We're now in Mexico. This little Mexican boy read in the newspaper that there's a wall between Mexico and America. And he gets to his father. His father is smaller than him. They say that in whole Mexico there's not even one Luna Park. Why? Because anybody doesn't reach the, for who should you make it? So he goes to his father. Hello, Papa? Yeah. Why the wall Mexico, America? So now, what is the Mexican father telling to his son? Probably the same thing. No, we are proud Mexican. We don't want these cheap American coming to us. Yeah? No. It's a whole different speech. Listen, son, let me tell you the truth. We are getting dread. Where you born in Mexico, everything is over there is America. And America don't want we should go over there. You understand? So we're stuck. We're stuck. But listen, son, maybe one day you're going to be older and smarter than Papa. You're going to crawl under the gate or go over. You'll find a way to get out of here. Please, do me. It's going to be my biggest pride if I hear you cross the wall. Same wall, same border, and listen what the American father tells to his son and what the Mexican father tells to his son. Everybody says something else. So Rabbi said, let's be very clear. The Torah has a lot of borders. The Torah has a lot of walls. There's a lot of Gedorim and Syogim. This you can't do, this you can't see, this you can't hear, this you can't talk. But it's our obligation to be mechanech our children that we are on the American side and not on the Mexican side. We could bring this negative atmosphere in his house that, yet, we're Jewish. We can't do anything. So, listen, that's it. What can we do? Shei them. We're Jewish. That's it. Next time, get born to another family. As long as you're here, you're Jewish, sorry. You have to understand, the Moshe doesn't let, and you want to be a cheder, right? That's it. Tati's correcting, Mami's correcting, all's correcting. And basically the son hears and thought the Tati's words, if you're going to be old enough or smart enough, just crawl down this wall and, that's it. It's our achrayas to show the children, Ashreinim atoiv chalkeni, we are on the American side. You know why there's walls around the Torah? You know why? Because we don't want them to come into us. Not, we should go there. No. We want to be protected. We want to be protected. I once went on a tour in Italy, and the tour guide showed us a mansion, big wall, with barbed wires and watchtowers and everything. And he's explaining us, here was the palace of King Fernando the 22nd, whatever he said, whatever he wants. And we were all looking, wow, happy pictures. So here he lived, yeah. 2 blocks later, again, the same thing. Big shutter, big wall, barbed wires. And I tell them, what's going on there? The king's brother had here, Rebbe says, no, here was the jail. Here was the jail. Looks the same. Same thing. Same walls, same barbed wires, same towers. But, we say in Israel, Yechia Hevdel Katan. Here, two blocks away, lived the king. And we wanted that the king should be respectful. He can't be in the streets. And Be'ikhi should be protected. Not every schnorrer and schlepper should come into his house. He had a wall around and everything was closed up. Why? It's a king living here. Here was the place where they punished people. They put them in, you can't go nowhere. With Baba, it's the same thing. But it's a whole different meaning. We can look at the Torah as something, such a jail. Sneers. Oh, how many restrictions? Not this, not that, stop it. And what do we do? Once we look on Yiddishkeit of this, we're always going to look for a heter. So, no, this Rav is matter. This Rav is matter? There, one down. And this, you have to ask not the local rabbi, he's a Mr. Machman. I'm telling you, there's a Rav in Detroit that he is matter this. Oh, so we got another heter. And finally, Baruch Hashem, we could be Masada. At the end of the day, we can be Masada everything. I once asked by Drosha, can you imagine if one day in your life, Hashem says, today you can do whatever you want? What will you do this day? So don't ask me that. Don't even look at me. If we feel that Yiddishkeit is all about being restricted, it's gefährlich. It's Thomas, and I feel your pain. But we can look at it the right way. What is the truth? The truth is that we were zoiche to a Ma'amad of Sinai, to become the Am HaNivcher, and due to that, we're the Am HaNivcher. We can't do all this stuff. We have to be protected. It's our pride that we were zoiche to do this. And if this is the atmosphere at home, and we mazba for the kinder, Baruch Hashem, we're stolz that we're Yiddish kinder. What, you really want to be the Goyish neighbor? That's a life? And you bring this into the house, there's no problem to say for a boy, no. And sometimes people confuse. They think that loving the children means giving in for children. It's such a mistake. It's not loving. It's mamish the opposite. Giving in everything for a child. Whatever the child wants. Yeah, this today's generation, chaz v'shulam. A child wants to hear no. A child enjoys to hear a no. Nobody's fighting with me. He enjoys fighting as well. But he wants to hear no. He wants to hear no. Think he wants to hear yes? I once said this in Mushal 20 years ago. Can you imagine there's a school taking a whole class for a trip? So I don't know which towers you have here in LA, but in Manhattan you say Empire State Building. You used to say the Twin Towers, but Empire State Building, you take the whole class to the roof of the Empire State Building. So if it's a class of younger children, they're going to stand by the elevator and be frightened to go out. They can't look at it. It's so spooky to look at such. I can't see such a height. You have the older boys. No problem. Then you have the boch, 16, 17-year-olds. You take a whole group up, they right away run to the wall, and they're starting to shake the gate, the fence. All together, let's shake it, come on, let's break it. Can you imagine when these bochum stand up there and they're shaking the fence, all of a sudden, you hear it. Do you think one bochum will going to stand and say, yeah, we made it? In a second, nobody is there anymore. They all run away. So why were they shaking it? Because they were so convinced that this gate is strong enough that they can shake it. But once they feel that this gate, this fence, can break, then the shamas in their heads. When we see sometimes our children are no. You know why he does it? Because he's expecting from you, Tati and Mami, you should be strong enough to tell him, don't do that. When we give in, you make him unsafe. Think, oh, no, I love him, he wants it so much, take it. No way. But you see, he begs it for it because he wants to see you strong. It's just the opposite. He wants to see you strong. So that's why I'm not allowed to give it. Maybe you're allowed to. You can do it with a set of rules. When? Doesn't have to be now. Why not teach our children? You don't have to get everything right away. We're in such a crazy generation where everything is in the way at your home in 2 minutes. You're downloading, charging. The only way what a boy can hear today, you don't have to have it right away, is in the house. Okay, we're going to buy it. Not now. They say the word that the Chassidische father uses the most, Chalamoyed Peisach, is Schäferle nicht jetzt. The whole time, Taten auf rein zu der Park, Taten auf Käufen, auf Gekommen, Schäferle nicht jetzt. It's so simple. We have such a mistake with it. And I meet fathers, they do this mistake again and again. So he asked me, so I gave it to him. So, no, why? He wants a strong father. He wants a strong mother. He wants to hear a no. Nothing happened. And he's allowed to hear a pesak. Nothing happened. Nothing. Yeah, he's allowed to hear Tati's upsetting you. Mommy's upsetting you. Don't do such a thing. And people sometimes get offended. Hey, that's the old chinuch that still have trauma from my grandfather. No. Nothing's traumatic. Everything is very normal. There was a story by the Lubavitch Rebbe, the Rayatz, when he came to America. There was once one of the rabbis. He had a shul, and he came into the Rayatz, and he told to the Rayatz that he's a rabbi in a shul, but he's planning to give up this whole rabbanus. Why? He said, Rebbe, nobody's home. I'm talking droshes about tznius, about Shmiras Shabbos, about Hanochas Til. They do whatever they want. They eat tray for that. I'm telling you, I'm seeing good droshes. I'm banging on the beam and I'm screaming. Nothing is happening. That's it. So they should look for other Rav. The Rayatz told him, would you Istanbul gewesen nach Schwitz and a spa in the call today? He said, yeah. In a Schwitz is du a Schmaser. Yeah, in a Schwitz is a person, a praker. He has a besom, does a broom, and boom, and he gives patch. And it's amazing. He gives the patch, and the person stands there. Another one. Yeah, no more. Yeah, here. Oh, that's again. Can you imagine the same story in the middle of 13th Avenue? Person walks to the door, someone comes with a boom. I want to see one person. Good. So 911. Are you crazy? So I can't understand. In the Schwitz you can do it, and here you can't do it. It's very simple. When you bring you in a warm place, it's a Schwitz. It's a place where a person wants the warmth, and he enjoys the warmth, and you come and you give him a bang, he says, thank you, give me another one. But if it's in a cold place, in the middle of the street, who are you to touch me? What are you doing, Bichlal? So the Yatz asked this Rav, I hear you give drushes, you give this. Do you bring in some geschmack also? Do you make a Chanukah party for the congregation? She says, no, why should I do it? Do you have a schoigish in the morning, a breakfast for them? No. Do you have any gathering? No. Who are you to tell them, Mr.? If you're going to bring environment to them, and you're going to show them you care for them, and you want to help them, then you're going to see the Sprakenen and Zogen Schmaß noch. I want to hear more. This is the Metzias. When our children feel real love, they feel we care for them and we're here for them the whole time, Gunishi Geshen, there are a lot of hair psak sometimes. We don't have to be so afraid. There's a lot of hair psak, a lot of hair sometimes when you're angry and nothing happened. Again, to be lost and to no. I would tell a child he can't do such a thing, yes, he has to hear this. And Rabbi side, to conclude, one wichtige nekide. We have Baruch Hashem our children in the Mosdes. I had a gewaldiges here to spend with so many teachers, Rabbeim, this Shabbos. What should I tell you? I never knew what a lay is all about. I was never here, and it's amazing. It's amazing. You have melamdim, devoted melamdim that mamish. They look to be better. They want. It's amazing what I saw this Shabbos. One of the worst things we could do for a child is to show her that we are not on the same page with a moisid. It's gefährlich. We have to know never to show a child we're not on the same page with the moisid, with the cheder, even though we feel and we think that the moisid is not right with what it did. You have sometimes a boy comes home. Tati, you know what the Rebbe told me today? What? He told me this and this and this. Yes. He's like this. That's what he told you? Let me call it. Let me call it. You know, the boy feels like $1 billion. Wow. I'm so protected. In his head, he sees a picture how tomorrow Tati and Mommy comes in, take the malamed by the nose, they pick him up, and they kick him out of the school. He feels so good. And tomorrow comes the cheder, no, same Rebbe. Nothing happened. You made him a very good feeling, but we don't have the damage we did now. He feels now a conflict in it. He knows he has in his life, he has a strong Tati Mami and a strong cheder. And these two strong poles are in conflict. What happens to this child? He's getting complicated. And it's only disturbing him. We should never say this to a child, even though we're really upset. Sometimes you could be upset. The Rebbe says, the principal said to think, I hear what you say, Sheifele. I understand your pain. I feel your pain. I understand you that you feel Tat is going to talk to them. Let's see. It doesn't look like the Rebbe wanted to make such a mistake. No. I have to hear the whole story. But I'm telling you that I understand you. We can understand, we can validate, but we don't have to cover this to give him the feeling that the Moshe does not know we should never do this. And sometimes we have to go a little tough with the child. Let's say that you called the Rebbe and the Rebbe said, yes, it's a big problem. We have to, I don't know, whatever. For example, he can't come to the class tomorrow. That's it. I don't know if there's such a thing here, but let's say whatever. Yeah. And we can take this as an opportunity to teach the child such a good lesson now. And I'm going to give you a marshal for it. Everybody remembers when we were little children, Mommy used to take us to the store. Mommy used to take us to a bakery. Mommy used to take us. One day, Mommy told us, tomorrow we're going to a dentist. We didn't even know what a dentist is all about, but if Mommy's taking us, it's probably fun. And we come into the dentist, only the smell in the waiting room, even if you're only 2 years old, it tells you, no, run for your life. I don't know what, every dentist has the same smell. I don't know how they created that smell that should give you fear. You come in, but it was in the waiting room, it was quiet. You saw Uncle Moishi and whatever, it was a little fun, okay. Suddenly, they say the name, Schwartz, come in. And this little Ingele goes with Mommy together. They come into a room, and there's a seat that goes like this. Very, very frightening. But Mommy's with me. It's okay. I'm not afraid. And here there's a dentist that tells for the Ingele, hello, good morning. And first of all, he starts with the B'sura Toive. It's not going to hurt. And this 2-year-old doesn't understand, why should it hurt? It's okay. Stop. Yeah. Okay. Suddenly the boy sees this dentist putting a mask, flashlight. Something gets very, very frightening here. And he puts him in the chair, and the chair starts going, okay. I remember always the chair and the dentist looks always till the clouds. It won't end this journey. It's like very frightening. But the boy is like skeptical, but mommy is here. Suddenly, the boy chaps its trouble and he starts crying. And here comes the surprise. Instead, mommy should be on his side. No, mommy ganged up together with the dentist. And we start to fight with the child. No, I want to go home, I want to go home. And the doctor says to mommy, if you won't hold this boy, can't do that. And this voila mommy that always protects from all, chaps this boy, grabs his hand. No, he can't move till the doctor is done. And this 2-year-old boy can't understand what happened here. Why is mommy not on my team? Why did she go to the other team? What happened? Why is she standing with the enemy? When we grow older, we understand there's no teams, there's no nothing. You and mommy and the dentist together are against the cavity. There's no teams here. There's no teams. When we can explain for a boy sometimes, if Chaz v'Shalom, there's some trouble in Cheder, Shefle, I want you to understand, nobody's against you. Nobody's against you. It's me, Tati, and Mommy, and the Rebbe, and the principal, and yourself. We're all against your Yetzer Hara. We're all against that cavity. This is what, it's not you, it's a cavity. It's not you, you're a tzaddik. You're not a troublemaker. You're a good boy that did trouble. But you're not a troublemaker. Let's not label you as a troublemaker. You're a tzaddik. You're a choshev ingela. We love you. But this, what you did yesterday, was a cavity. And let's fight the cavity. And if we could bring in this message, and the boy understands it, they can understand it, it's totally different. I'm going to be Messiah with a story. It's maybe famous, the story. But I think if you want to be Mesakim, this whole shmuz, it's a story that Rabbi Tzaddik of Tzimai Zilberbeck once said years ago. There was a cheder in Yerushalayim that had a trip. They had a trip. It was for the grades, let's say, if I was 6, 7, 8, 9th grade. They had two buses. The 6th, 7th grade and the 8th, 9th grade. They came to the park, even though that the principal called a few days before, and they made sure that the park should be, it was a water park, that should be any other school done together with them. The Maisa, they came, there was a girls' school over there. Together with the Chassidische Cheder, it won't work. I think the mic worked enough for today, we could do it without, yeah. So they come to the park and they see that's the situation. So what can we do? So the Rebbe's are calling the Manal wasn't Cheder. So the Rebbe's called the Manal and they told them, we're here with the boys in the park. There's no way, we can't let boys in a water park in such a situation. So the Manal said for the boys, for the Rebbe's, listen, you spoke to the people over there in the park? Yes! Nobody's home, that's it. Okay? Ein Eitzav ein Tvuna Neged Hashem. All the children back to the buses and we go back to Cheder. That's it, the Malamdim say for the boys, back to the bus, we're going back to school. The boys are back in the bus. You will never want, not in this Gilgul, next Gilgul, be a Malamed than those minutes on the way back. In a few minutes, the negativity, chutzpah, they did it bedafke. Yet, always, my father already learned in this cheder, and he told me that he remembers they did the same thing to his father. Whenever the cheder has a trip, it must go wrong. The Malamdim, they have a button, they make dafke should rain this day, everything should go south. There was one boy on the bus, the older bus, that took the mic. He asked the Rebbe's if he could take the mic. And the Rebbe's were not sure to give him the mic, not give him the mic, whatever. He was a very lingular, but they told him, no negativity. No, I want to say something. He took the mic and he started with the whole enthusiasm. Boys, do you know why we are going back now to Cheder? Only because one reason. It's not the Menayel, it's not the Rebbe, it's nothing. It's the Torah Hagdosha that says, V'lo yisusuru acher levavchem v'acher neichem. And that's the reason why we're going back. So boys, we are now being the biggest oif de Hashem that it could be. We're mamash serving Hashem with this that we cannot enjoy ourselves. So boys, it's such an amazing moment. And let me teach you a song. These the words Ashreinu Matoiv Chilkeinu Manoim Goreleinu Mayofer Shasenu, and I'm going to teach you a song. And he started singing the famous Ashreinu Matoiv Chilkeinu. In 2 minutes, he had a whole bus singing with him together till they arrived to Cheder. The Melamdim were shocked. What is going on here? They arrived to Cheder, the Melamdim go down the bus, and the other bus, the younger bus, comes to the Cheder, and the Melamdim go, and the older Melamdim want to go to the younger Melamdim to tell them the story that they had of the bus. Before they start talking, the two Melamdim from the younger bus say exactly the same story that happened their bus. There was a boy that stood up and he said, boys, we have to sing Ashreinu. Who was that boy? A younger brother. Two brothers from the same family, both in other buses, did the same thing. The Melamdim were shooken up. They went to the Menal, they told the Menal the story. The Menal said, I'm making a phone call right away to the parents. So the phone starts to ring. They look at the ID, yeshivas, this. You know what happens when yeshivas? The father says, Mommy, take this phone call. But Tati, I can't deal with it. I'm here for backup. If it's getting heated, I'm going to come on the freeway call. And he runs to this medrash. But if they pick up the phone, and the Menal starts, yes, hello, this is the Menal from the Cheder, nothing happened, everything is okay, Baruch Hashem. It's a Naches call. Naches call. And the Menal tells the father the whole story that happened now, the boss, Ashreinu. And the father's thanking him, thank you so much for this Naches call, it's amazing, thanks, it's so nice of you to tell us the story. Anyway, you should have Naches of your children. No, before you hang up. What's the recipe? Something happened here. It looks like it's orchestrated. Something happened. It's a conspiracy, the story. Can be true. It's too good to be true. I just live with it. How did it happen? So the father said, no, nothing. No. There is a story behind it. So the father told the Menal that a half a year ago, they were in the time that they were preparing for a chasana in the family. So the mother, she heard that in Ramat Gan, next to Bnei Brak, there's a store for very cheap clothing. They could buy for the chasana clothing for mamash half price. It was a very hot summer day. The mother went with the children there to buy some stuff. It was a very hot day. They finished buying. They had to take a bus back to Yerushalayim. It was so hot that they asked for mommy, maybe you could go buy a glida before we go. Ice cream. Yeah, sure, why not? They went to the store, they bought glidot. And we're going to eat in the bus, not here. So into the bus. But the last minute before mommy opened up, she looked to make sure that it's our kasha. She looks, no, this is Rabbanut. Says, Sheifelach, we cannot eat it. Sorry, it's not the ice creams that we eat. What do you mean? It's so hot. So sorry. What can we do? But mommy, you don't understand. It's hot. Tzadikim lech, I promise you, we come home, I open the freezer, I put you all into the freezer. You can be there as long as you want. But now we cannot eat this. And that's it. Okay, nicht is nicht. We came home, and I came home later from work, and my mother, and the mother, my wife told me the whole story, that the boys, and I tell her, so that's all that happened? I told them no and finished? So yeah. What else would I do? They came home, they drank water, everything is fine. No. You can't do that. We have to celebrate this. I told all my children, boys, we're going to the supermarket. We don't chappen, Ishleim, Engel, father, let's go to a supermarket. It's like, whoa, we're going to the United States. Why? We're going to buy something. What? Whatever you want. What? Whatever we want? Yes. Come, let's buy Nash. But Tati, it's not Friday, it's not the Kovet Shabbos, it's only Monday. Come, let's go. And they came to the supermarket and they bought whatever Nash they wanted. They came home, Tati said, all kinderlich, white shirts, go change to white shirts. White shirts? Yeah. They put a tablecloth, 2 candles, and the whole this of Nash. We're going to celebrate the gewaldige Kiddush Hashem that happened today. And I told my children, you should know that today happened a very, very big Kiddush Hashem. There were a few boys that after a few hours, it was hot and sweaty, and they bought an ice cream, and the last minute they saw before they start eating, that's not our hechsher, so they didn't eat it. You should know it's such a nachasiyach, oivn in Himmel. It's a regular Yom Tov up there in Shemayim now. We have to celebrate it, and that's why we're here. And to cover the celebration, let me teach you a song. And then I told them the song Ashreinu Matoich Chulkeinu. And I told my children by the end of that party, you should know that in your life, you're going to have this more than one time. You're going to have these challenges again and again and again. You're going to have so many Peroshas Drochim. It will always be comfort, pleasure, enjoyment, versus Rotzein Hashem Derech HaTorah. And it's going to be your choice to decide what you're going to do and how you're going to approach it. There's going to be a way to say, okay, forget it. So I'm Jewish. That's it. Tough luck. Or it could be Ashreinu. It could be Ashreinu B'Tefilkeinu. And I'm asking you children, whenever you're going to have such a type of Rosh Drachim, remember it's Ashreinu B'Tefilkeinu. And that was a story. Reb Tzimai Zilberg heard the story from the Manal. Reb Tzimai said, I have to be mevar if the story is true. Do me a favor, give me the number of this father. I want to talk to him. Reb Tzimai himself called up this father to ask if the story is true. And the father told him, it has already a little hemshech, a little continuation of the story. Lately, we went to visit a tante. She's not so from. But we went to her aunt, tante. And my boys know that the kashrus in their house is not so good. So the tante gave for my little meidele from 3 years old a candy. And the meidele takes the candy and he comes over to my wife and he asks, Mommy, listen to the shala, is this kosher or this is ashreini? Is this kosher or this is ashreinu? We have a new language at home. Nothing is treif, post. No, it's ashreinu. It's either kosher, either ashreinu. Either we can eat it, either we have the better choice. Ashreinu Matoich. If we could bring this in our houses, that the Torah is Ashreinu Matoich will hopefully Mir Hashem see nachas from our children and good shidduchim for all of them in Mir Hashem. Buna Chaim Zoyne Vatznuche B'chol V'Nyunim Umen.